You're listening to the Hair Debate, where we debunk, debate, and discover all things hair. I'm your host, Morello Kane, certified trichologist, master cosmetologist, speaker, author, and leading the Atlanta Black Chamber's Black Beauty Industry Initiative. And today's episode is about breaking boundaries and unlocking careers through the power of hair coaching.
Welcome to the Hair Debate Podcast, where we focus on hair loss solutions with our experts and establish truth on all things hair. Your host, Morello Kane.
Today's guest is someone I deeply admire, a true pioneer in the hair coaching industry. So she's a certified trichologist, cosmetic scientist, and the founder of the Good Hair Tribe, certifying hair coaches worldwide. Okay, worldwide. Atilola, welcome to the hair debate. Love, you are doing it. You are absolutely doing it. So, first of all, you say 13 years. But it seems
Yeah,
like you
it's actually 14 years now that we are in 2025.
love, it seems like you have been at this thing for the past, like you just came out the womb with it. Like you have been doing some things. And so what started this whole passion of hair loss?
Well, hair loss for me, I just love hair, right? And I love talking about hair. And before I
Yes.
answer the question, thank you very much, Moral, for bringing me on your platform. It's a great privilege. I consider it's a great honor
Yes.
being here and speaking with you and finally having this face-to-face conversation with you. Because I've heard of you from the Association of Professional Trichologists, which I'm currently the treasurer, and then from the Association of Natural Hair Care Professionals. I've also seen your name on those platforms, and I'm like, okay, finally, it's time to get
Yes,
to meet you.
love.
So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
A true honor. Same here, love.
For hair loss, I started with a blog 14 years ago. I started by blogging, just writing blogs, and I had other people writing blogs. And from blogs, I started manufacturing products, right? I started from, the smallest of the smallest that you can think of. That's
Wow.
my bedroom in my parents' house. I started
Wow.
manufacturing products, right? And then these products were doing so well. The blog was doing so well. Everybody was hearing about it because, like, oh, now something new. Right then, I used to be in
Yes.
Nigeria. Then, oh, things, everything was just going well. But people are now talking about, oh, hair loss. My hair is, I'm losing hair here. I'm losing hair there. And I'm like, oh, go use coconut oil and castor oil. Oh, you go use coconut oil and castor oil. You go use coconut oil and castor oil. Everybody coconut. And then it got to the point that no, it is not about coconut oil and castor oil. There is something going on here. And that's when I began to take interest. Even before the whole, me giving them this advice, I was already passionate about hair loss. Like I then when I used to work in a consulting company, before I resigned to start the hair care business properly, I used to look at people's hair and I'm like, no, your braids are pulling out your hair. And then I
Yes.
was like, do this, do this. I was so like not obsessed. I was so passionate. I just did not like
Yes.
people's hair. Like because I was like, this is your fault. You can do something about it. So I was very passionate. And then when I found out that my knowledge was a bit limited, right? A bit limited. It wasn't just about blogging and the next DIY. It wasn't just about the products. That is
Yes.
when I went and became professionally involved in hair loss just so I could help people.
I absolutely love it. And
Thank
so
you.
I bring before you guys today, Miss Etilola. And so we are going to talk hair. So you think you know hair coaching? Let's talk about it. Now, as we get into this, what exactly is hair coaching and how is it different from being a stylist or a trichologist?
Now, the stylists are stylists. We know what stylists are. They make us look beautiful. Um, they do all they do on our hair, hopefully in a healthy in a healthy way, right? And they just go to style our hair and continue to work on their expertise to make us look better. So, stylist has nothing to do with hair coaching, but
Yes.
the stylists are to be hair coaches,
Yeah.
right? So A trichologist, which I am, are the people that are, that manage hair loss issues and scalp
Yes.
disorders, right? Basic. You have hair
Ye-
loss, you go to see your trichologist. You have scalp issues, you go to see your trichologist, and they help you out topically, right?
yes. Mhm.
Topically on the scalp. They can't go beyond a certain range and all. And then fantastic, they do a fantastic work and they give it to you. But hair coaching is a little more. And
Okay.
that's why, yeah, because that's why you see a lot of trichologists come to us to become hair coaches. I mean, I didn't even know they were going to, but now they are rushing to us to become hair coaches. So a hair
Mm.
coach knows the trichology, the hair science, because I call trichology the hair science. Everything
Mhm.
about hair science, a trichologist should know and even keep on knowing even after they have finished the trichology certification. Because the truth is that you cannot learn everything in those 52 weeks or 6 weeks or 10 weeks, depending on the trichology program you go
Ye-
for. You still keep learning even while you are a trichologist. But what a
Right.
hair coach does, or what it does, is that it now gives you now have frameworks, right? You have frameworks when you come into my place as a trichologist and I do my thing, my consultation and everything. How do I look at you? How do I ask you questions? What questions? How are the frameworks? How do I listen to you? Listen in, listen for, listen at, right? How do I hear what you are saying and what you are not saying?
I-
What are the reporting templates? All those
yes.
things are part of a type of hair coaching. Because when it comes to hair coaching, there are actually several types of hair coaching, right? A
Yeah.
type of head coaching, which is the one-on-one coaching, and then the mastermind, because the mastermind is also one-on-one, but repetitive, maybe over a year or over 6 months. But the one-on-one can be one time or it can be a mastermind. That's a type of hair coaching, right? That's part of hair coaching. Then there's a hair coaching business, right? How do you set up your hair coaching business? What are the lead magnets you use? What I see you on LinkedIn, Moral. I see the things that you have set around your business. Nobody is joking with you because they see the structures you have put in place, right? It's part
Yes,
of the hair
love.
coaching. What are your lead magnets, your email sequences, right? How do you bring in people? How do you retain people? All those things are part of hair coaching, which is not taught in trichology. But when the
Yeah.
trichologists come, those are the things that we teach. And this is just one type. So when we talk, do you know that I know trichologists that their trichology, which will bring me to the hairstylist, their trichology is in their salon space, right?
Okay.
They style their clients' hair, they do all this, they do all that, and then they say, oh, I can do this for you. I'm a trichologist. I can give you this treatment. I can do this. I can do that. That's one type of trichology. Some trichologists they're not stylists. I'm not a stylist. I don't know how to
Yes.
make hair, but I'm a trichologist and I work on people's hair. That's another type.
Yes.
I do more of coaching. I do more of consultations. But the stylists have like maybe an extra advantage because they are already stylists, right? They already make the hair. That's another
Yes.
type of coaching. Then there are the regimens, creating regimens and giving them out, selling them professionally. The regimen for damaged hair, the regimen for children's
Mhm.
hair. You take time to
Yes.
write a 100-page regimen. What you should do. That's a form of hair coaching. So not everybody has to be able to speak like you and I before they do hair coaching. And there are
So
so many more.
okay, so now love, you have dropped some gems. And let me just highlight a couple of them. Now, let me just say this. As you stated before, being a trichologist, okay, you are studying, you are learning, you know about the scab underneath all of that. But that communication is key. If you, like you said, if you are not hearing exactly what the client is saying and not saying, and so was that one of the gaps that you saw? Like, were there gaps in what you saw as trichologists was out here servicing, and you're like, okay, no, you're not hearing what this client has said, or so communication is key. and not everyone can effectively communicate as well as be attentive in what their client is saying.
I will say, I'll be very honest, right? I won't say I saw any gap. What happened was that um, in the Good Head Tribe, which is my company, that is the Care Literacy company, the coaching company, what we were doing was that we were selling science educational materials in form of like a Netflix. Like you log into
Okay.
Good Head Tribe as a member, you have access to all these science trainings, and it was mostly hairstylists, right? That are members of the Good Hair Tribe, hairstylists and hair influencers, right? So they come, they have access to all the science that trichologists have, and they were using those science knowledge to help their clients. So it was just a membership, and then one day, just in order to help our business and help our members, I called for a meeting and I said, okay, this is what we want, this is what we are doing, and what do you think we can do better to serve people better? And the person said, teach people how to become hair coaches. So I wouldn't say I wasn't the one who said, oh, I see a gap, I want to fill the gap. She was like, because this person that told me had known me for 5 years, and she knows that I teach. She knows everything I know. She knows about the products. She knows all the. She was like, You need to fill the hair
Wow.
coaching gap. That there are a lot of people there on YouTube, on social media that don't know anything, and they want to
Yes.
learn from you. And that is why I decided to do the hair coaching. However, I must say that I used to be a consultant with one of the big four, right? I used to work with PricewaterhouseCoopers. So I already knew
Okay.
some coaching framework. So I brought my proprietary coaching knowledge in the business space and everything. And then I designed, what I designed is actually proprietary. The science is not proprietary because the
Yes.
science is trichology, right? But the hair coaching frameworks and the hair coaching business, it was all proprietary from my knowledge as a tech expert. Because my first degree is in computer engineering, right? So from my knowledge as a computer engineer, as a tech expert, as a web designer, and then my consulting knowledge, we designed a framework that everything just merged, and just created a reading for everybody to just come. So and then when I saw honestly, when I created the course, it was just for hairstylists. But I started seeing
Wow.
more trichologists coming. And I'm like, come, tell me why you're taking this course. I started seeing them and they told me, see the science, we know it. Yes, you're teaching more in the science than we already know. And thank you for that. But you see the frameworks, you see the business, that is
Mhm.
what makes you different.
Oh, I love that. So, okay, so now walk us through your approach to coaching and what kind of transformation can a client expect?
My own approach, because there are many approaches, like I said, which we
Mhm.
talk about, but my own personal approach, I do a lot of one-on-one. Like you see, I
Mhm.
talk, right? I do a lot of one-on-one and I do masterminds. Right now,
Okay.
I'm more into masterminds because for me, I feel like it gives me a lot more time to work with you as somebody that has hair
Yes.
loss issues. So I put them on a program, on a maybe a 6 month program or a 1 year program,
Mhm.
right? When I was in Lagos, Nigeria, I used to have my physical clinic, right? Where
Okay.
people come in, I do my treatment. Well, yeah, I do my micro needling, I do whatever I need to do on their hair, and they come in, right? But um, ever since I moved, I decided, you know what, for now, I want to separate myself. I don't want to do a physical clinic anymore. I have spent the past 5 years mastering virtual
Okay.
and one-on-one. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do virtual and I'm going to do home service. So I do home service for coaching. So of course, my own form of coaching is trichology plus coaching and everything. I do everything together. So I do the micro needling, the laser, the high frequency. And if you don't do that, we do virtual. So I do a lot of one-on-one. I sell regimens also, but my regimens, because of the knowledge I have, I actually sell everything as an ecosystem. So if you come into my mastermind, you're going to get the treatment, you're going to get the regimens, you're going to get the products. You remember I already had all these things before I became a trichologist. So everything
Exactly.
just came together and just made it, yeah. That's so
Uh,
I bring everything together.
Okay, so now with the hair coaching session and training in the entire mastermind, is not just informational, but they're also learning technique as well.
Oh, you have to. Whether it's
Oh,
virtual or it's physical, they have to learn to take care of their hair. So for the virtual people, when we are done, I send them everything they need to do, step by step. The technique is very important. As a trichologist or a hair coach, you can't just help people, teach them, and just leave them. What happens afterwards? The techniques are very important. So they get the
yes,
techniques, what they should do every day, why they're doing, and it's really not just about the products. I mean, I can even tell you sometimes I tell some people, you know what, I'm not working with you anymore because you're not ready to do the work, like to implement the techniques
yes,
that I've given you.
yes,
And then I can't use you because I need to be able to I need to be able to brag on you. And the only way I
yes.
can brag on you is when you get the results. So not everybody can, yeah.
I love that. But again, that shows that you're dedicated.
Yeah.
You are committed to seeing greatness. And I absolutely love that because it makes people accountable,
Exactly.
and that's the only way that we will evolve this industry is through accountability,
Yeah.
and so I absolutely love that. So now what can attendees expect from your free 3-day coaching business intensive boot
Wow.
camp?
Yeah, the hair coaching business intensive boot camp, right? So, yeah, the boot camp is for all hair care professionals who want to
Okay.
build a profitable hair coaching business, right? So, like I said earlier, that a lot of people, when you go on Instagram, you go on YouTube, you see people calling themselves hair coach, and
Yeah.
their content shows that they don't know anything about science,
Yeah.
right? So, this is here to bridge that gap, and that gap that you asked for earlier, Moral, this is the gap we are bridging, the gap of knowledge, right? So on the first
Mm.
day, we are going to be talking about hair coaching science briefly, of course, because we can't go as intense, but briefly, we are going to be going into the hair coaching science, the basic things that you need to know. On the second day, we are going to be talking about the frameworks, some things around the frameworks that you need to know, you need to build. In fact, this time, this because this is our second edition. For this edition, we are talking about what happens when the client steps in, right, into your
Okay.
consulting room. And we are going to be touching on the templates, the consultation formats, right? What goes on at each stage and when you should let go. And then on the third day, we are going to be talking about hair coaching business, the business aspect of it, how to actually build a successful hair coaching business. That's what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be really, really packed, really, really great, really like, I mean,
I'm so looking
yeah.
forward to it because I
Thank,
would definitely be attending.
oh,
You
thank
can
you.
never not, get enough insight. And then
Yeah.
again, being the entrepreneur, the specialist, the expert that you are, definitely want to attend and get some that gain your knowledge. And so,
Thank you.
so definitely, guys, okay, register. And
Yeah,
so where can they go and register for this event? Because you must be there. If you are serious
very
about
simple, very,
your
very easy.
exactly. If you are serious about your career, about your clients, and definitely want to take your business to the next level. Okay, so where can they go and register?
Thegoodhairtribe.com/bootcamp. So simple. Thegoodhairtribe.com/bootcamp. All one word.
Okay, so definitely go to the website, go and register. I again can't wait until after the effect and we come back in. Let's talk. Maybe we may just choose a couple of people that attended and then just to get their feedback behind it, and just I would like to see how they were able to take the information and evolve their business with it as
Yeah.
well. And so Miss Love Atilola, I thank you so much for being on this podcast. Um,
Thank you very much.
I love what you are doing. Continue planting these seeds, love. And I just cannot, I look forward to seeing the fruit of it. That's it for today's episode of the Hair Debate. If you ever felt called to help people on their hair journey in a deeper, more holistic way, This conversation might just be the sign you were just waiting for. So be sure to follow and share this episode with a friend who needs to hear this. So until next time, keep listening to what your scalp is trying to say because it's talking. And so, again, on the Hair Debate, the platform where we debunk, debate, and discover all things hair.
Visit moralocane.com. Follow us on all social media at The Hair Debate and at Morale O'Kane. Don't forget to like and share.